What up, gang? Welcome back to the link up. Today's just going to be me, Efrum, just because I want to hop on here and chat because big news. Real Madrid just sacked Xabi Alonso. Okay. I feel like some of us seen it coming. For some, it may be a surprise, but nonetheless, he's gone. Vinny's probably happy about it. But yeah, what does that say for Real Madrid? What does that say for, these Reds? I know Arnie Slot is probably shaking in his boots right now. He's absolutely shivering because the guy that we wanted in the first place was probably Xabi Alonso. He rejected Liverpool so he could go to Real Madrid. Now he's not there. Arnie Slot hasn't had the best of seasons. Could we be maybe seeing Xabi Alonso to Liverpool? I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot of shots being fired. By shots, I mean coaches. If you look at Chelsea, fired Maresca at the beginning of the year. Kareem with Man United 4 or 5 days later. And now Xabi Alonso. And 2026 is just 12 days in. Yeah, no one's job is safe out here. And what does that say? Um, I know if I were Liverpool, like the owners, I know they back Arnie Slot a lot. So that's the only thing that's stopping me from really being confident about this decision being made. If it were up to me, I'd take Xabi Alonso in a heartbeat. Why? You may say, well, he didn't do much with Real Madrid, blah blah blah. You just gotta understand. We have basically his best players from the season, Bayer Leverkusen, where he went undefeated. We have Verts and we have Frankpong. He knows how they play. They understand his coaching. Why not? It makes sense, right? We're gonna be Bayer Leverkusen. Um, And I'm okay with that. If he could make us go undefeated like Bayer Leverkusen did, by all means. Now, how d- how does that happen? What if Arnie Slot from this point on just starts killing it? What do we say from there? Um, I mean, if he starts killing it, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna be disappointed. I mean, that was the whole plan for you to be killing it at Liverpool. If he's still on, off and on, I mean, at what point do you pull the plug? And decide that enough is enough, get him out of here, bring in somebody new, somebody who's free agent, and somebody who we've been wanting and we know could do us good, who's played with us, played with the teams, played with the players, or coached the players who we have now, is used to the Bundesliga. We have a lot of Bundesliga players. I mean, it makes sense. On paper, it makes sense. I'm sure I'm not the only Liverpool fan who would like to see this happen, but Arnie Slot did give us a title last season. It just seems kind of messed up to just, all right, bro, kick rocks. Um, but after this season, you never know. You never know. Anything could happen. Like I said, coaches are being fired. What would it take for Arnie Slot to get fired? I mean, we won today. Fair enough. But it was Barnsley. We look good. Egatika converts, assist goal, assist goal. They're looking good. Absolute banger from Soboslai. Frimpong on the right, just look being super quick, cuts in, shoots it with his left. Like what I saw, but against I think they were a third division. I'm not too sure, but we were still a little shaky. We still weren't confident until that third goal, I feel like. And these are the type of games. I mean, look at City. They won 10-1. Chelsea 5-1. We should have been on top from the get-go. And obviously we benched players, but we're a Premier League side. We should be able to bench some players and still come in knocking teams off, like especially when they're not in the Prem, they're not in the Championship. We should be completely dominating. And there were points where I mean, we did have most possession, we did have more shots, uh, but they could have easily been tied with us if they finished their dinner. There's off the rip, they hit the post. They had a few chances. But I was never convinced after that third goal because we were only up 2-1. I mean, they got a lucky goal. Fair enough. Soboslai messed up trying to pass it back to the goalkeeper. It happens. He had just scored a banger. We'll let it slide, and it's Soboslai. He's our best player of the season so far. So we'll allow it. We'll allow it. But would I like to see Xabi Alonso come in? Of course. Like I mentioned earlier, like, he's a red. He's played with a lot of these players. I feel like he'd suit us very well. But what would it take for Arnie Slot to kick rocks? I don't know. Do we wait till the end of the year or end of the season? I just don't want it to be too long where in the meantime, Xabi Alonso ends up getting a job somewhere else. I mean, Chelsea and Man United don't have a manager right now. Who says they're not going to go all in for Xabi Alonso? They know he's available. Another shout I've been seeing a lot of people make is Luis Enrique already said he wants a new challenge at the end of the season. No more with PSG. So should we wait for that? Should we wait for the end of the season? See if Luis Enrique is available or Xabi Alonso still available? See who's the better pick of the two. Do we make the decision now and go in on Xabi Alonso, or do we write out Arnie Slot? If Arnie Slot keeps winning, I mean, it seems kind of unfair to just get rid of him. Obviously, if he ends up, keep being the same form. I mean, we haven't lost, but we're tying to teams like Leeds and tying to teams we shouldn't be tying to, and we should be a lot higher on that table. All's fair that we got new players. We're trying to figure things out. Isak is out, but we're Liverpool. We just won the league. We should be definitely at least in the race, right? We're nowhere near the race. We're only fourth place because everybody else is so shit. So, like I said before, Slot hasn't had the best of the seasons. Do we kind of give him time to adjust, see if he could improve? I don't know what FSG is thinking, you know. Um, but yeah, that's the real question. Do they kind of just pull the plug now or wait till the end of the season? I'm not sure, but me personally, after what I've seen this season, we don't have anything that screams Liverpool. Every game that we've played, we don't have like a Liverpool stance. When we had Jurgen Klopp, rock and roll football. We'd get the ball, kick it forward, let's make something happen. It was exciting, it was good to watch, and we scored a lot of goals. Now, I mean, I just see a lot of passing plays, passing back, passing back. No one's really going at defenders. The few times we actually go attack defenders, we get some sort of chance out of it. But it's almost like they're being told not to, pass it back. We keep doing a damn rainbow around the opposition's box and going left and right, back, left, right. Eventually, nothing happens. We lose the ball. Now we're getting countered. Now we're in the back heel. So we've been seeing a lot of that. We'll have possession, blah blah blah, but we need that attacking threat, and I haven't seen it with Slot. We don't have a signature, sort of style of play that we could name as Liverpool style or slot ball. So yeah, I think having Xabi Alonso in, gives Liverpool a better chance of having that, Alonso ball. And like Bayer Leverkusen and a lot of the players he already's played with and he's turned into stars, like, it kind of makes sense. And Real Madrid and Liverpool are two different teams. I mean, at Real Madrid, Alonso's coming in. Obviously, he wants to, this is a big chance for him. Um, he's got something to prove. He's not messing about. So he tells his players, all right, get your shit together. No partying, all this and that. Apparently, Ancelotti was okay with letting his players party after games. And if they were late, it's all right. Um, it didn't matter because then they'd come and win the Champions League, So I don't know. I'm not a coach. So I don't know too much about that, which way is best, which way is not. But obviously, Xavi Alonso was the strict coach. And it turned some heads in the locker room. And obviously, look where he's at now. He's no longer there. I think it's different coming into Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool, you're more of a family. You don't got so much divas trying to do whatever they want, trying to party. And he's already been a red. So I feel like we'd welcome him with open arms. The sort of strictness that he's looking for. And I think he'd find at Liverpool, we play more for the team, for the badge, than for ourselves, I think. And yeah, I think it suits him more than Liverpool, or I'm sorry, than Real Madrid. So wouldn't mind seeing that. But like I said, if Arnie Slot just from here on just goes on a winning streak to like um, go all the way, I mean, I wouldn't be mad either. So you're choosing out of the two. But as of now, I don't see that happening. We get good games against big teams. Look at against Arsenal. They couldn't beat us. They haven't scored on us. We go to the Champions League, we play Real Madrid, we win. It's just we decide when to turn up, and it's kind of annoying. Like we play at the level of the opposition sometimes. So I'm tired of being that. Xabi Alonso could be the missing piece, but do we wait? Do we not wait? Are we going to be too late if we do wait? Arnie Slot doesn't win anything. Does that give him the boot? Let's say we win the Champions League. What does that do? What does that make of Arnie Slot? Do we keep him? I mean, hell, if he's winning the Champions League, you got to keep him. He just won the toughest trophy there is to win. Even if we didn't win the league, even if we finished fourth place, you won the Champions League. I feel like at that point, you got to keep him. If we go trophyless, I mean, clear answer. Do we want to wait till then or do we shoot now? Luckily, I'm not in charge of those decisions because I'd have a headache. And honestly, I'd probably see. I don't want to choose right now. I can't decide, man. Because Slot did give us a league, fair enough. I feel like it was just with Jurgen Klopp's players, though. And they were accustomed to the way they were playing. They played with each other for a long time. He didn't bring anybody else. They just got that chemistry up. Anyone could have been at the wheel and made that happen. Or was it actually Slot? And then we're still trying to figure out the pieces together. And will he eventually get them? And will he eventually make Liverpool the best team in the world? I'm not I can't tell you that. I can't answer that. Um, you know, just because we're human, we want to see something different. Sometimes we get bored. I'm getting bored of the way we're playing. If they told me, do you want Xabi Alonso right now? Look, Slot, I love you, man, but kick rocks. Like, I'm sorry, man. Xabi Alonso is different breed, man. Different gravy, bro. Like, you've seen him play with Liverpool, Real Madrid, baller of a player. He went undefeated with Bayer Leverkusen. I feel like his resume just speaks louder. And although Slot won us the league, we're not doing much this season. So maybe a change of pace. Do we go now? Do we wait? Do we go for Luis Enrique at the end of the season? I don't know. I don't know. What would it take for Slot to stay with Liverpool? I don't know. He better would have to turn it around big time because right now it's not looking too good. So yeah, just want to come on here, talk about that because it just happened and I needed to, speak my mind out. Because things could change soon. Coaches are getting fired left and right. There's new ones available. If there's any time to, make moves, might have to be now. Just depends how Slot takes it, how he goes forward. Um, and yeah, all for the best of the team. We'll see what goes on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should Real Madrid have fired him? Should Liverpool make a move now? Should we wait till the end of the season? Is Slot the GOAT? Is Xabi Alonso the truth? I'd love to know your guys' opinion. So let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.